Good morning, everyone. We'll now begin the morning service of the Miroku Association headquarters, asking God and Meishu-sama to protect and bless us as we participate today in the construction of paradise on earth. Amatsu Norito and Miroku prayer, please stand. Takamaharani kamusumarimasu. Kamurogi kamuromi no mikoto mochite. Sumeni oya kamuri zanagi no mikoto. Tsukushi no imuka no tachi hana no. Odo no ahagi harani misogi harai tamo toki ni narimaseru. Araido no kami tachi moro moro no magagoto tsumi kegare o arai tamae kiyome tamae tomao sukoto no yoshio amatsu kami kunitsu kami ya oyoro suno kami tachi tomoni Ame no fuji koma no mimi puri tatete ikoshin meseto kashiko mikashiko mime maosu miroku o mikami mamori tamae saki wae tamae miroku kami mamori tamae saki wae Kami Mamori Tamae Saki Wae Oshie Miyo Kami Mamori Machi Hae Mase. Great Creator and Giver of all life, in accordance with your divine will, the long age of night draws to an end, your radiant divine light, shining ever more brilliantly, awakens the dawn of the glorious age of light, a time long awaited by all humanity. We thank you for guiding us to your divine plan and for the privilege of channeling and receiving your ray. May our spirits and bodies be illuminated and purified as we live your truth given to us by Meishu-sama. Make us pure and effective instruments of your divine light so that we may serve you and all those with whom we come in contact. May paradise on earth be realized with health, peace, and prosperity, our reality in our lives. Great God of light, bless and protect us. Radiate our souls with your divine light so that we may truly become instruments of your great plan. Please be seated. We will now receive group joy.
Meishu-sama, bless you.
Your day is now concluded. We will now listen to a reading from Meishu-sama's teachings. So polishing. Even diamonds, so highly treasured, are as dull as sand pebbles until polished to their much appreciated luster. Spiritual cleansing occurs in the physical world when people come together, both the good and the bad, to polish each other's souls. Those purified in body and spirit can pass through times of great tribulations with much ease. You cannot judge conclusively if someone or something is good or evil. In the eyes of God, even evil has a purpose. As a matter of fact, the polishing of your soul, your spiritual training and cleansing are a result of the dark forces. Dark forces make you suffer, and in the training that ensues, your soul is getting polished. Therefore, dark forces are like rubbing stones that train and cleanse good people. To make a good sword in olden times, a smith first thrust the raw metal into a hot fire. Once it had softened sufficiently from the heat, he withdrew the metal hammered on it while it was still hot, and then thrust it into cold water. This process was done over and over again until the raw material had been forged into a beautiful, powerful sword. The same process applies to our own lives. Who hasn't had to face the hot fires of criticism, the hammering of persecution, and the cold waters of rejection? Since ancient times, those who have accomplished truly great things have suffered unusual hardships, like the forging of a sword. The spiritual explanation is that the greater a person's mission is to be, the harder are the trials first endured. So, we should be grateful for all difficult experiences.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining this morning service of the Miroka Association headquarters. In the teaching today, Meishu-sama teaches us cannot judge conclusively if someone or something is good or evil. That in the eyes of God, even evil has a purpose. There is also the teaching entitled Divine Drama. Divine Drama. There are good characters, evil characters. And this is what makes the drama interesting. Suppose that there are two co-workers, Joe and Jane. And Jane feels that Joe is always bothering her. And this goes on for years and years. And then Jane may have these kind of thoughts. Well, Joe may be evil, maybe a wicked person. But then when both return to the spiritual realm, Jane may be surprised that God will congratulate Joe. Congratulations, Joe. You did exactly what I asked you to do. You had this mission to polish Jane by being strict to her or wherever it was. So we don't know really what is in God's plan. So when we are facing this kind of a person in our lives, can be a neighbor, can be a family member, can be a co-worker, it is for our own polishing. So as The teaching finalized today saying we should be grateful for all difficult experiences. This is a kind of spiritual training. Of course, it's not that simple, but if we are aware of this principle of the soul polishing, then we would appreciate the opportunities and the training, and in the process, we will evolve step by step, gradually. Today, I would like to share the faith experience of Rodrigo Nascimento. He's from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. In 1998, Rodrigo began to suffer from anxiety disorder and panic attacks. The symptoms were terrible. He couldn't sleep, felt dizzy, and had tingling throughout his body. His heart was fast beating, and he couldn't control his breathing. He had a feeling he was going to have a heart attack or go crazy. Rodrigo sought medical help and started taking medication. In 2001, a cousin, who is a Jorei member, offered him Jorei. He received it for a few days, but not believing that it could reverse the situation, he gave up. In 2004, Rodrigo met his wife. When witnessing his crisis, she was terrified and began to help him find a solution to his problem. However, nothing eased his suffering. Over the years, crises were frequent and varied in intensity. Even in calmer periods, he was overwhelmed by negative thoughts that plagued him daily. Then, in July 2019, another cousin and his wife, who are also Jorei members, suggested that Rodrigo should receive Jorei for 30 days straight. This time, he acted differently. He accepted the suggestion and surrendered the situation with his body and soul, as if it were the last hope of overcoming that suffering. In this way, no matter the hour, day, or weather, Rodrigo and his wife went to his cousin's home daily to receive Jorei. Gradually, Rodrigo felt calmer, began to sleep better, and the chills and tingling disappeared. His thoughts changed by no longer feeling anguish, and his days were happier ones. The transformation that took place in just 30 days was incredible. After this period, he never had any more anxiety or panic attacks. He had finally found the long-awaited peace and happiness he was looking for. Rodrigo was discharged from medical treatment, and medications were suspended. Rodrigo and his wife received the sacred focal point, or Hikari, in September 2019, and their 13-year-old son 2 months later. Rodrigo now dedicates weekly at the Jorei Center, provides religious assistance, and carry out our practice of faith in his home. He's happier and more fulfilled every day. Every day, Rodrigo is expressing his gratitude to God and Meishu-sama for the complete transformation in his life through the work of the Divine Light. He's also grateful to his cousins who extended their hand of salvation to him through Jorei and showed him the way to happiness. This is what the experience I would like to share with you today. Wish you a wonderful day. Thank you very much.
This brings to a conclusion of our morning service. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and have a blessed day.